on our way to pick up a rooster, an aggressive rooster that we're rescuing. We used to do this a lot. We used to rescue aggressive roosters and tame them and then rehome them to good homes for free, of course. But this rooster happens to be one that we're actually looking for to add to our flock. And so yeah, so we're gonna go pick him up and we're gonna show you guys how to tame an aggressive rooster. So first things first, we want to see how aggressive he is, and you can tell right off the bat he's all puffed up. This is a sign of aggression, but right now it's more of a defense because he's not charging me yet. But according to the previous owner, he's very aggressive and he attacks anyone that comes into the coop, like flogs them. So I know that they're probably telling the truth and he probably is really aggressive, and I know that he is just from this right here because I'm a stranger and he's already puffing up. Sometimes when aggressive roosters come to a new place, they will run away from you because they're more afraid of you, but he was standing his ground. There he goes trying to flog me. And all I'm doing is I'm not taking my eyes off him. I'm just pushing him away. I'm pushing his chest away. I'm not trying to hurt him. So before you start trying to tame an aggressive rooster, it's really important to know that they can really injure you. Their spurs are really sharp and they're actually really strong. And some roosters will be, they'll peck at you really hard, and some will just flog, and then some will do both. He doesn't seem to be the type that will peck, but he does flog. See him flogging me there? Now when they flog, what they do is they push their spurs together. They kind of rattle their legs and they push their spurs together, so you end up with 2 injuries from the spurs. And I've been injured several times by aggressive roosters, and that's why I want to tell you guys to be really careful when doing this, and it may not be worth it to you because you can get hurt pretty badly. So right now I'm just showing him my strength by pushing him away and not backing down. It's really important not to run away or back down. He needs to know first that he doesn't stand a chance against you, and then second that you're not a threat to him. So before you do this, you may want to wear gloves or definitely pants and boots because like I said, their spurs are really sharp. So right now what I'm doing is I'm stepping forward, and he's already showing me a sign of submission by pecking at the grass and pretending to eat. That's your first indication that he's backing down to you, but that does not mean that it's over and that you could trust him or turn your back to him, because the second you turn your back, he can try to flog you again. But see him picking up grass and just dropping it, that's a sign of him giving up. It's a sign of submission. So that's a really, really good sign because it's telling you that he realizes he doesn't stand a chance against you. So he just crowed there, and he's walking away from me, so that's telling me that he's done with me. He's not going to challenge me anymore, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep my eye on him. Next, if he's still relentlessly attacking you every time you turn your back, you just got to pick him up and you got to hold him. And sometimes they'll peck the heck out of your arms, sometimes they won't. Like, he's not a pecker, he's a flogger. Sometimes you'll get a rooster that will peck you to death, and sometimes you'll get one that flogs you to death, and sometimes you'll get a combination of both. He does not like to peck for some reason. So now I'm just holding him, and I'm gonna hold him for a while. I'm gonna walk around with him, and this is just showing him that I've got him, but I'm not gonna hurt him. So once I've done this a few times, he'll figure out, oh, well, they already caught me a bunch of times and they didn't do anything to me. So it's a good practice if you could do it safely. Just be aware that their spurs are really sharp. Like, look at these guys. They're super duper sharp and they will cut you. So you can break those off with like a hot potato, or you could twist them off. But I like to keep them on my roosters so that they can protect their hens. So I'm not going to take them off of him. So my youngest son is only 8 years old, but he knows exactly how to stand up to a rooster, and I'm going to show, or Garrett's going to show you in a minute how you do it. But yeah, I just walk around with him for quite a while, long enough time to where he calms down, and then I'll let him go again. And sometimes right when you let him go, they'll turn around and try to get you again. So just be aware. They like it when you turn your back. That's when they're going to go and get you. Ready? See what I mean? That's from when I picked him up and he flogged me. So keep in mind, keep some antibiotic ointment around, because you want to clean the wounds right away because their feet are dirty. But keep in mind, you're going to get hurt when you're doing this. So I don't recommend doing this if you're not willing to get hurt a little bit. So Garrett's going to walk by him, and if he puffs up, Garrett's going to show you what to do when they do that. So he's not puffing up right now, but if he goes after him, Garrett's going to stand his ground, and he's going to take this stance, and the stance is going to hopefully make him submit. So now that I've just put him down, Garrett's going to walk around him and just see how he reacts and make sure that he doesn't get aggressive. And if he's going to be aggressive, he's kind of going to charge at you, or he's going to puff up his neck feathers like he was doing earlier. But right now he's pretty calm because I was just holding him, and he's kind of got the idea that we're not here to hurt them. But if a rooster does start to challenge you when you're near him, if he puffs up his neck feathers or starts to try to flog you or come after you, it's important not to run away. Instead of running away, you're going to take a stand, and you're going to put your hands at your hips, and you're going to bend down, and this is just going to make you appear bigger, and it's also going to show him that you're standing your ground and that you're not afraid of him. And what you're going to look for is, when you do it, this is a stance that you want to take. When he starts pecking at the ground, again, that's a sign of submission. That's him letting you know that he's not here to fight. But they are really smart animals, and sometimes they'll do that just to trick you. And they'll do it a little bit, and then they'll go and flog you. So don't take your eyes off of them. Don't turn your back to them. Make sure you're watching them at all times. But right now, he's keeping his distance. He's not trying to come close to Garrett at all, and he's fake eating and pecking at the ground. So we know at this point that he's not interested in fighting. Plus, we've walked by him several times now, and he just didn't have much of a reaction. So that's all a really, really good sign. However, that doesn't mean that tomorrow he's not going to try to attack you, or that he's magically not aggressive anymore. They're kind of unpredictable. It does take them a while sometimes to, I guess, get tamed. I've had one rooster take 3 months. I've had one take a day. This guy, I think I'm going to have him tamed pretty quickly here within a couple weeks, because he's just he's not as relentless as I was expecting him to be, and he's already showing signs of submitting, so I think he's going to be an easy one. So now I've got some craisins in my hand. Raisins are even better for this, but you want to give him treats, especially if his hens are around. You want to only give him the treats, and he'll distribute them to his hens once he starts taking care of the hens. He may not just yet. But you just want to do this every day. You want to give him treats and let him know that you're the food provider, and he'll eventually figure out that you're not there to challenge him or hurt him, and that you're actually a source of food. So I haven't given him anything yet as far as treats go, so we'll see if he'll take it from me. Come here. If he won't come to your hand, just throw one to him real quick. You almost got me there. Look, this is food. He's still a little bit riled up from our little spat earlier. There you go. There he goes. Excuse me, I'm trying to do something here. So anything that's like sour and sweet is a really good treat for them, because they really like those flavors. Oh, he didn't like that other one. There you go. So I want to show you. See how he's puffing up? He's starting to challenge me. But he's not attacking me because he knows now that I'm not going to hurt him. There you go. See, he calms down now. The biggest thing is just to not back down. You have to stand your ground with them, or they'll never learn that you're not challenging them. They just need to know that you're not challenging them, and they need to be the alpha of their flock. They really do. They need to be able to take care of their hens, so they need to know that they're the alpha. But he's doing really well. He knows he's still figuring out that I'm not challenging him, so he's not puffing up when I come closer. got my hand out and he's not pecking me, which is a good thing. I'm showing you my ankle a little bit late. I should have showed you this when it first happened, but right here and then right down here, you could see where my the rooster that I'm taming had flogged me in the ankle, and it punctured my leg right here, and this is where it was hurting the most, and it punctured the tendon, and then not only did it hit a tendon, but it also hit a nerve, so my entire leg was hurting, but you could see where the blood is settling down at the bottom. It's still pretty swollen, and oh my gosh, it hurt so bad, you guys. I was so shocked because the first hour after it happened, it wasn't a big deal. I was off doing things, I cleaned it up, and it was just a tiny little puncture. And then after about an hour and a half or so, it started like radiating up my leg into my buttocks, and it was like hurting so badly. So I just want to show you guys that you have to be really careful, because I should not have been wearing flip-flops while working with him, but I actually didn't go out there to work with him. He just happened to get aggressive with me while I was out there doing something else, so I wasn't really prepared. But normally I would wear my boots, but I just wanted to show you guys how dangerous it can be. Like, they can hurt you quite a bit, and this was wasn't too serious. It's just kind of like a sprained ankle, but it was super painful. I couldn't walk on it for about 2 days, and I was just so shocked that such a tiny wound could do this. But you could see where it's still bruised down here, and this whole area is just swollen. So be careful if you're going to tame a rooster. It's definitely dangerous for sure. So here is my oldest son, Blake, working with him and just carrying him around, getting him used to him. And this is what I have all my kids do. I have them all hold him and walk around with him so that he knows that they're in control too, because it's important that, again, everybody in the family works with him so that he knows that none of you are aggressors. Are about, would you say 2 weeks? He's doing a lot better. He's not aggressive really anymore, and he lets me pick him up and pet him, and he even eats out of my hand now. Hi, buddy. Are you a good boy now? I've got my back turned. He's not coming after me. Okay, so here we are. Time to hand feed him. Hi, buddy. I've got it in my hand. Okay. You can see how close he is to me. Good boy. It's a good baby. You want some too? He's trying to tell her that there's food right here. This is also another good sign that he's not getting aggressive when his hens are around. See, these are his younger hens. He's really close to me. Normally, he's also soaking wet. I think he was in the sprinkler. They normally will show most of their aggression when their hens are around. But he is pretty much over being a meanie, aren't you? He trusts me to touch him for the most part. I just got crumbs all over his little head. I'm sorry. But you can see he's really, really close, and I'm crouched all the way down. But I can pick him up now, and I can pet him, and he doesn't mind. So he's going to be he's so far proven to be a really good rooster to his hens. He takes really good care of them, and that's been our experience with every single aggressive rooster that we've tamed, is they end up being the best. Just got my finger. I don't have any more food on there. They end up being the best roosters and the best alpha roosters of your flock, because they just fiercely protect your chickens. So right now, our trust level with him is pretty trusting, at least for me. I can turn my back on him. But you have to be careful with younger kids because he's still going to test other members of the family, especially, that's not him attacking, that's him trying to get food from my hand. Especially with younger kids because he's still going to try to figure out where his place is because you're now part of his flock, kind of. So if you have smaller kids, he may still test the waters with other people. So it's important that everybody in your family works on taming him. His comb turned purple from going in the sprinkler. It's cold. So you could see that we are about 2, almost 3 weeks later, and it's like night and day from how he was that first day. And I didn't show a whole lot of footage of him attacking everyone, but there was a lot of attacking going on, and he's finally, figured it out, and he's a sweetheart now. So I hope these tips help you guys out with taming your roosters. Again, it just depends on the rooster. Some may be really dangerous and more aggressive than others, so just take the right precautions. Wear your boots, wear pants, wear gloves if you need to, and just be very, very careful, especially around kids. There will come a time when you fully trust them to be around anyone, and they will figure out that people are not the enemy, and they'll never attack anyone ever again. And they just end up being the best roosters, honestly. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found these tips helpful, and we will see you guys tomorrow.